Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you're watching or listening to this, and welcome to Link Up Leaders, your direct link to leaders in supply chain and e-commerce. My name is Lisa Kinski. I'm your producer and co-host, and joined, as always, by Francois Jeffrey. Francois, how are you doing?
I am great and very excited because you got me very excited. so I'm even better today than most days, I would say.
Fantastic.
And it's Wednesday. You know, the week
We're
seems like it's winding
done.
down. It has flown by so quickly. I was sitting here last night, finishing up some email stuff around like 10:30, 11. And when I looked at the clock, I was like, there's no way that it's already 11. These days have just been flying by so quickly.
It is October 20th.
I know. It's crazy.
I read the email. Our guest today is Cassandra Craven. She's going to get a bigger intro than that. Y'all don't worry. But when I emailed Cassandra, I was like, okay, date and time of the episode, blah, blah, blah. I was like, October 20th. No, I fudged that up. There's no way. And I was like, oh, crap. It is the end of October, you guys.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm
the more important question.
Jacked up like y'all could not believe. This is no secret. I love Cassandra. I have had a big fat professional lady crush on her since I entered the e-commerce and supply chain world. I think I first saw her on Norm's show and I was like, who is this energetic woman with this background in film and used to be in Atlanta and hanging out with rappers? Who is she? And everything you watch with her on it is just so deeply informative and energetic. And she always has the answers to your questions. And if she doesn't, she's like, hang tight, let me figure it out. And I know she follows up with people. And I'm so excited.
Yes. And for anyone that's listening to our live or streams the live, we will be in Miami.
Go to Miami.
A week, a little bit more than a week, November 1st of 2021 and November 2nd, we will be attending the Amazon Powwow on the 2nd, Tuesday the 2nd, which is an amazing conference for all Amazon sellers, and you should attend. If you don't have tickets already, make sure you check that out.
The speakers lineup is so impressive.
It is very impressive. That's why I was surprised that Cassandra wasn't on there. We're talking a lot about it. I know. We will bring her on. We'll find out why she's not going.
I can see her in the back
pressure her
cracking
up. But the powwow is on the 2nd, and we will be there on the 1st also for the Sellers Dinner, which is an amazing steak dinner at an amazing restaurant in Miami. And at Carlos Alvarez's Wizards of Ecom
at the Hangout.
The Hangout. Yes.
Called the Hangout.
Very excited for that because Carlos is also another one of the world's most interesting people in e-commerce. So
his story was nuts with how he got started sourcing. I'll have to link that in this video. I'm just so excited. I can't wait to meet everybody that we've been talking to over the last years. Me, pretty much since March, when we launched the show. But I don't want to wait anymore. Today, everybody, we have with us Cassandra Craven, the social media maven, the queen of Instagram and TikTok herself from Helion 10. It is, and I'm going to introduce this like Nicole Byer does on her podcast because I never get to do this, and I think nobody else will appreciate it like she does. It's Cassandra Craven. Boo, boo, boo.
Oh my God, nailed it. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I was just looking at I was like, oh, the host has unmuted my mic. I was like, oh, how anticlimactic would that have been if I couldn't be answered? I'm all quiet. You guys, first of all, I have to say, you are the next coming of Regis and Kelly, or Ryan and Kelly. The new generation would know. Why are you not greeting me on my morning televisions each and every day? Come on.
We couldn't have the weather conversation today, so we're not weather people. This is, and I kid you not, Cassandra, this is one of the more exciting times, and this is why we're both so giddy. And I know Lisa's extra giddy. It's something that she hasn't stopped talking about.
I'm literally
since we first had the conversation.
I hope I have expectations. I really do, and I'm not just like, guys, I'm going for a new miming thing today. Like, I'm just gonna be really low key.
Oh man, we are so excited to have you here. For anybody who doesn't know you, which I don't know how that's possible.
Impossible, I'm sure.
Impossible. Please give everybody just a quick little about you, a quick little background of Cassandra, what you do and what you're doing now and where you've been and how are things? It's early morning for you, isn't it? This is your first thing. It's 9 a.m.
It's 9 a.m. I just made it here in, COVID traffic is done, guys. It's real traffic is back. So yes, I breezed here. I was checking my phone and I was like, I am going to make it because my heart was set on this. If you don't know, so I work for Helium 10. I am the senior social media manager. I am Cassandra Craven, and I zoomed down the freeway to Irvine, California to make this appearance, to live out my fantasies with Lisa and Francois and make it happen. So I am so ready. Nothing would stop me. I would have taken it. I would have pulled over. 5-3.
Irvine, California. Where is that? Is that near LA?
No. People should know that because a lot of people come to LA and then they don't realize that we're further. We're about 20 minutes from Disneyland in Orange County area.
Okay.
I think
Orange County.
I think a previous coworker of mine used to be. How close are you to Temecula?
Okay, so we actually have when our Walmart expert lives in Temecula, so she's about an hour and a half from us.
Okay,
not too bad.
Okay, because I made the way out there one time, and this was 20. I know. This is like 2019, and we had a couple of different client visits that we needed to do. This was when I was in sales, and I was talking to some people. I'm like, yeah, I'm like going to the the LA area, and they were like, oh, the traffic is awful. I was like, oh, please. I've lived in Atlanta my entire life, girl. I know traffic. LA makes Atlanta look like child's play. Holy
pretty bad, I heard.
It is awful. It is the worst because we went from I think I was in Irvine. We also were in Temecula, and then I went somewhere else. Heavens, I don't even remember. I was in 6 different cities over 2 days, and holy nuts! It was. I want more time in California and less obligations.
It's so damn big.
I know. And that was the beauty when I did live in Atlanta for a while. I was in a new city, a new state every weekend. Because everything's so accessible. I would go to South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee. I was everywhere, guys. Alabama. And then I realized that I came back to California. I'm like, oh, it takes me 2 hours just to get out of LA. I didn't go anywhere before. I was like, I'm just going to stay. But I get it. And I remember, I know this is probably not the topic that everyone wants to hear about, but Atlanta traffic. See, that was an interesting one because I got a lot of, I didn't really know the streets or anything. So that got me of okay, this is still equally as crowded, but now I don't know where I'm going.
Yes.
So maybe that's the reverse for us. I'm not sure.
The other thing is too, my parents moved here in 1980, I believe, if I have that date correct. Nice. And the way they tell it, there's never not been construction on the roads in Atlanta. And I think that's accurate.
Though. It's always growing.
Yeah, but it's always there's detours left and right. You're in a wrong lane. That's why I think we have so many accidents because 1, don't nobody know how to drive. 2, you are all of a sudden, it's I've gone this way to work every single day. You're autopiloting. And the next thing you know, the road's closed. And it's I got to get over. I got to get over now.
Yeah.
Do you have the Peach Pass? Do you have a Peach Pass? Is that still a thing?
It is a thing. I don't have one.
I don't have it.
Looking at me no.
Neither. Well, so it makes sense. So my mom has one. She lives in Woodstock, which is just, kind of northern metro. Yes. So where her office is, it makes sense to have one. But where I'm located in Duluth, it doesn't make any sense. And then even the way the Peach Pass is routed, because it only has certain on and off points. Even when I lived in Kennesaw, it didn't make any sense for me because it would have only saved me I would have only been able to get on it for 5 or 10 miles of my 40 each way. So I was like, this isn't worth the money for me. I'll just sit in the traffic and then I'll move and then I'll be 15 minutes away. So
there you go.
Everything.
I just take the ticket. I'm not going to lie.
Are you kidding me?
Anytime I was driving through North Carolina, there was an accident. I just took the North Carolina, whatever it was. And it was we'll mail you. I was like, okay. How bad could it be?
You have to be careful with that, though. You have to be careful with that because I had an old boyfriend do the same thing. He hopped on the Sun, whatever they call it in Florida, the Sun
Pass, I think.
Sun Pass, Sun Track, whatever. And he didn't know. They said they were going to mail him a ticket. They mailed him a ticket to an address he no longer lived at.
Uh-oh.
So then he's driving around here in Georgia, doesn't know he has a warrant out because he has this unpaid ticket in Florida. And he's like, you guys didn't even
criminals.
Oh my God.
We're not going to get into that on this podcast. And that was before we got together.
But it doesn't even count. It basically doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Throw it away.
I was just gonna start to, because I know we could probably talk about traffic and the different parts of America for a long time. But with your background, how did you, I guess, come to even be social media manager at Helium 10?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so connecting all the dots here of why we're talking about Atlanta and all that, I got right out of college and I started doing social media for daytime court shows in LA. And if you're familiar, no, I get the question all the time. It was not Judge Judy. I know that's everyone's fan favorite.
Was it Judge Joe Brown?
No, and then I did work with that team later.
Okay.
And wait, hold on. There's so much stuff, Lisa, we have to talk about. Okay, now you're getting me excited. So here's the deal. Right out of college, my internship, though, the transition period let me start back, was doing like teen tween stuff for like Nickelodeon and Disney stars. So like iCarly was really hot at the time. Justin Bieber was still young and innocent, Miley Cyrus, all that before Party in the USA. And so we would do like set visits. We would go to like record recordings, all that. And basically I was kind of like this one woman show, and I was taking it back. I was doing blogs, pushing them out on, Twitter, Facebook, all that. It wasn't even Instagram. Okay. So I may be losing myself at this point. And then we had YouTube for all of our video content. So when you gotta remember also, this was the height of like the recession. No one was getting jobs. So I put in a bunch of applications to Fox Studios, and that's the one that hit. And it was for daytime court shows. And what got me the job essentially was they were like, well, this is totally fresh. This is stuff that would appeal to a whole younger generation that you're now bringing to essentially middle America, an older demographic who is so used to their stories in the middle of the afternoon, the soap opera, if you will. So that happened. It was an incredible experience. I pretty much had free reign because no one knew what they were doing in social media in 2011. Don't go back and look at your old posts. It's embarrassing. We all know that.
I delete those. I get the notifications from Facebook and I delete those every time I see them. It's like,
they're so bad.
No, thank you.
Cringeworthy.
Oh my God.
Now I'm thinking back about all the stuff I have to delete. Okay, so all that happened. I started working. It was divorce court, Judge Alex. I worked on the Ricky Lake show for a little bit.
Okay.
And then this new opportunity came up, which was called paternity court, which is like Maury and Judge Judy in a courtroom.
Okay.
And so who's the baby daddy, but also a ruling.
Yeah.
And they moved us to Atlanta, Georgia, because that was like the hot ticket at the time. And that's how I know about all this stuff. That's how I like broadened my horizons. One of the best experiences of my life. And meeting so many people. You talked about, there's no paparazzi in Atlanta. So there would be like rappers, and T.I. was there, and Jim Jones, and like all this one time China was there, Black China.
Black China?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like crazy, right?
They're just hanging out. They're just walking around, living their best lives down here. It's still like that. Gata just moved down here and he's just running around like crazy. And I'm like, am I going to run into Gata? I will be so excited.
You had Akon at the gas station not too long ago that got carjacked.
My God.
Yeah.
Yes.
At the QT down the street from my apartment.
Oh my God.
It was crazy. I was like, Akon around here? I mean, that's not crazy, but the fact that he got carjacked and it was hilarious. They were talking about it on the they like casted it, and he was saying he used the incorrect word, like assaulted or car robbed. They were like, sir, no, someone jumped in your car. They didn't assault you. You got carjacked. Okay.
He was like, whatever. My car is gone. Like,
but sorry to rudely interrupt. Because
well, no. And then I'm sorry. This is flooding me with memories now. I do remember even before like Migos popped off and they were all popular. I remember seeing them do a video right there by Georgia Public Broadcasting. And they were like doing it one of those like car spas, half spa, half car wash. So, it was just such a wild time. But not to like, okay, so to cut a long story short here. So I'm everywhere. I'm going everywhere. And I'm like, I want to come back to Orange County. I'm an Orange County girl at heart, born and raised. Helium 10 was looking for a social media manager. And I was like, hey, this is like 20 minutes from my house. I want to be with my family. I want to be with my friends. This looks like an incredible opportunity because it was like a blank slate. And I just, okay, this may sound cheesy. Don't, whatever. Don't think I'm lame. But it just felt right. And I feel like we all know those feelings of you meet people and it just clicks. Lisa, I mean, we know how that is. And so it just felt right. And I remember talking to the recruiter. I got with the marketing team. And it just was like this automatic family in a way. And I know, again, everyone always says like, oh, we're like family and all that stuff. But it's real. And I think I say the stars aligned. And I couldn't be happier. So that's how I'm here at Helium 10. Talking to you fine people now.
Fantastic. And I love when it's kind of you're serendipitously brought together. I came to Noviland in a similar way. Laid off, put in over 200 applications. Of course, it was the COVID times. Everybody was applying everywhere. And Francois was like, hello, would you like an interview? I was like, yes, you're an hour away. Don't care. I'm coming in. And then it's just been amazing ever since. So you didn't have any experience in e-commerce then prior to getting on with the H10 team. How fresh was Helium 10 when you joined?
Okay, so we were 10 people in a WeWork, and still in Irvine.
Nice.
Which I'm sure if you see us now, like there's new faces popping up on our social channels all the time. We're just this huge growing team. We're international. And so literally, yes, 10 people in a WeWork. I had never had e-commerce experience. I knew they prefaced me with like Amazon, entrepreneurship, but really social media kind of doesn't, I know the foundations of social media. So I really take it as I can pretty much do anything. I can do social media for food or, e-commerce, Disneyland, whatever it is, theme parks, you name it, I can do it because I have the foundation there. So I wasn't necessarily like apprehensive about it. And then as I started, like I mentioned, though, it was a blank slate. So Bradley had the podcast going. We had our blog content and we were just rolling out new tools. So there was just so much exciting stuff to mold on all the different social media channels and really get into it. So it became a really exciting time.
What year was this that you said Bradley had the podcast running?
This was so March 2019 is when I started. So I think he literally had, so this is Serious Sellers. I think he was on episode like 4 by the time I came in, which now we're in the 200s. So it's so crazy,
He's all over the place.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Pakistan.
That's true.
He's going. He's everywhere.
He's like Yoni. If there's somewhere to be, he's there. Like
he's there.
Sure.
Well, I did want to touch on one thing. So the foundation, I think, is social media. I think that lays a good preface even for the topic that we have today.
Cool.
What are some of those pieces of the foundation that, let's say, in Amazon, anyone that's really interested in social media, which I think is so prevalent in e-commerce, right? It's one of the most important aspects to almost any brand, whether you're SaaS or you're product based. What are some of those pieces of the foundation that I guess a business owner should know about?
Oh, definitely. So like anytime I come into a new account, a new brand, whatever it may be, and if you're looking kind of inwardly at your own brand, you want to kind of look at what your assets are. What do you have going out? What is your content? And what channels do you want to gravitate towards for yourself that you feel comfortable with? And also, what is your audience receptive to? What do they want to talk about? Where do they want to engage? And how do they want to engage with you? So you really want to kind of take a social media, and really look at all the stuff that you have within your repertoire of content, social channels, and your audience. And once you kind of figure that out, it's easy to say, how do we turn this piece of content into a video? How do we turn this blog into a graphic or an infographic? And where does that content live? Meaning, does it go on Instagram? Is it more of a social play for engagement? Do we want to post it in our Facebook groups and start a conversation? Is there a CTA attached to it? So once you have those foundational moments, it's really easy to execute a social media plan that not only you feel comfortable with, but that your audience will be receptive to and engage with.
So, but where can we kind of...
I like when I go full screen. It's very... Hello.
We're back.
Yes.
We're back. But how do how's the best way to kind of do that audit to see like where people are going to engage with you? Because I think something that, and we'll get to like TikTok specifically in just a minute, but like something that, you know, entrepreneurs or just small business owners do is they try to be everywhere. And that's not always the best use of their time. They're like, okay, we have to be on Instagram and on TikTok and on Twitter and on Facebook and on LinkedIn and on Reddit and Clubhouse. It's like at a certain point in time, you're going to have like diminishing returns on those efforts, right? So like, how do you recommend that people sort of test the waters of these channels to see what is going to be most lucrative to them, or maybe just have the best return in terms of engagement or sales, anything like that?
No, that's such a great question, because once you go and look at this testing ground, if you will, there's always a part where you're just going to kind of throw everything against the wall and see what sticks. You know, what do people want to see? How do they want to see it? It doesn't have to be polished. It doesn't have to be pretty. Don't overthink it. And once you have that moment, maybe for a month, you know, you can kind of go back and look at the engagement week by week, day by day, and then throughout the whole month of what acquired the most engagement. Go look at your social media insights. Everyone can have a business account. This isn't anything that you have to, you know, this isn't a third-party source, anything like that. And that'll break it all down for you. And once you can kind of see that all laid out across Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever it may be, then you can have a better judgment of where you should be focusing your energy. Because I do agree with you, especially entrepreneurs. I think we want to be everything, everywhere, all the time, do it all, which is, you know, baked into that mentality. But really, you don't want any wasted efforts. And once you see that people are gravitating towards Instagram for more user-generated content, people using your products, things like that, you can focus your energy there. But if you want your Facebook group to be more conversational, maybe how-tos with your product, you know, what are the best use cases for it, then you can kind of segue those questions over to more of a group community atmosphere. And I know you're talking like TikTok. I think that's very niche, you know, which we'll get into, because I think it's a whole different animal compared to if a Facebook and Twitter and, you know, Instagram and how it relates to each other. This is such a unique way of content creation. And it has to be done. I don't want to say it has to be done right, but there is a formula to it, if you will.
Okay, go into that a little bit, because the big thing that everybody always talks about with TikTok is anybody can make it big on TikTok. And Reels has even recently changed their algorithm to match more closely to TikTok. It used to just be you'd scroll through Reels and it was whatever had top engagement or top views, top likes, whatever. But now you'll scroll through and you'll get a video that has, I don't know, 10,000 likes. And then your next video is, it seems like it's
3
just
likes.
by like time upload. It'll have like 3 likes.
Yeah.
So that's always been the allure, is anybody can make it big. So how can there be a formula to do it right?
So, okay, you're right. Great question, Lisa. I like it. Okay. So first of all, you're exactly right. You see, you know, celebrities on their trending, or you see someone with a dance, you know, with a popular song that's trending. And of course, they're going to have 100,000 likes, you know, comments, things like that. And then, like you said, you're scrolling through and you're like, wow, this person making a hot dog has 2 likes. And this is also on my For You page. Why? What's happening? And then I'm sure you've seen too, Lisa, people will say, I told you the TikTok algorithm is broken, and then it'll be like nothing, and there's no hashtags, nothing. I have noticed that when you don't use all that clutter of hashtags, you actually get more engagement. Now, whether that's a proven theory or not, it's something that I've seen within doing TikToks and posting them to the account.
Yeah, that's been, because we've done some research on TikTok here, and I didn't used to be a talker. I always like to joke that on the inside, I'm an 87-year-old Italian man. I'm like, I want my money under my mattress and I don't trust my phone. But I've gotten onto the TikTok and did some research on it. And that's something that I've noticed is everybody kind of limits their hashtags to like 5 or 6 max, and actually did like a free online course through, I don't remember who it was, through like influencer marketing agency or something like that. And they recommend like only using hashtags, not TikToks, only using hashtags that are hyper specific to the actual content of your video. Because I think everybody used to try to hack it and just and just hashtag any trending hashtag or use any trending sound. But TikTok is actually scanning the content of your video to see if it aligns with your tags and your sounds. And I don't want to say shadow banning you, but like not promoting you. So
100%.
Yeah.
That's definitely a reality. And even when I do say like the formula of it, I think you have to know what is going to click with your audience, but also what is that earworm kind of deal? Like what is something that you're going to hit, replay, and want to listen to it 5, 6, 10, maybe 20 times, and it really catches with you. And it is an incredible learning mechanism as well. So something we've kind of somewhat cracked the code here, or what's been beneficial for us here at Helium 10. And I'm also very lucky that I get to have a team. I know that's not the case for everybody. When I was doing kind of TikTok solo, I was like, oh my God, this is a full-time job. I don't know how the kids do it. I don't know how those Gen Zers are out there dancing and editing and all that stuff. But what we do is we try to make something a combination of entertainment that you want to watch, but while you're listening to it, you're learning. You know what I mean? It's almost a visual, it's kind of like, you're learning it by having the repetitive sounds, you're having the imagery. It just continues to get in your mind, which is so great for us at Helium 10 with people trying to learn how to sell, tips, tricks, things like that, learning about our tools. We did recently, Halloween's coming up, our TikTok content creator, Sydney, she is new to our team, but she's already a rock star. And she did a whole makeup tutorial for Frankenstein, but we have a Frankenstein tool. And then all the information about the tool came up as you're watching her do this makeup tutorial, which seems completely out of the box for a tech company.
Yeah.
Like, and it's one of our highest engaged posts. Is that
I would have never thought to do that, because some of them are kind of, so if you go through the TikTok, if you go through your feed and, I get served, somehow I'm on Mom Talk, and then I'm also just on the Brooks and Dunn Neon Moon Talk, and I'm not upset about that one.
How are you surprised by the Mom Talk? You talk about your nieces and nephews and your friends' children as if you were the mom. My little one, all your pictures on your screensavers are, they're all kids.
Look,
are you surprised? Okay. I'm not.
No, I'm not. However, you made me lose my train of thought. Damn it. TikTok, Mom Talk. Oh, but I'll also sometimes get on like small business owner talk, because my girlfriend owns a small business here in the Atlanta area, and I will hop on her social media and do all that for her and then share it on my profiles, whatever. So I'll get on there, and something that works really, really well that appears to work really, really well for small business owners is the
when they're doing all the packaging,
pack and order with me. Yes.
Oh, I love it.
That works great. And it seems like it would be a great idea for an e-commerce business owner, but for an Amazon seller or a Shopify seller, that's not super applicable, because a lot of their stuff is happening, outside of their home at a certain point in time. But that application that you just said with the Frankenstein tool, that is super, super creative. I mean, what kinds of content are you seeing that are having good engagement, or what types of the content should they gravitate towards? Dances or tools or tips? I mean, for these e-commerce business owners, because I can see how it can be if you're a brand, unless you're doing a demo, do those work? What works, Cassandra?
Well, I've seen a variety of those things work, especially coming from a brand. You want a little more polished production value for it, which I think we're really getting in our groove with. And that's where I say, these kind of creative, entertaining moments plus the educational kind of fused together to make for a successful TikTok, if you will. What I did notice before we had brought on, grew our team and had this TikTok content creator full time, a lot of our influencers, and when I say influencers, these are people who just used Helium 10 and were making TikToks about it. And it was more tutorial based. But what was interesting about it and why it grabbed my attention so much is, are you guys familiar with ASMR at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it. I dive down 5 hours of it. It's very bad, actually.
Yep. I know, but it's so great, right? I think there's elements of ASMR in there. So when you're talking about tutorials, demos, packing, everyone's kind of doing their little click, click, clicks, or this is what I'm doing. And you just kind of hear their voices. And it's something about it that really catches the ear. And you're listening and you're learning, and people want to replay it. They save your TikToks. They're sharing those TikToks. Especially once you hear one piece of relevant information. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm sharing that stuff. I'm like, oh, yep, gotta tell everybody about that. Gotta hit
some friends and stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think it's really about having a key buzz phrase in there, a keyword, something that's going to grip people, even if it's just one thing, because I think that's all it takes for someone to be like, yes, that's it, save, I learned this on TikTok, plus something that's going to grab their attention and have them want to listen to it over and over and over again. Again, there's different things for different people, different brands. I think there's something so fascinating about day in the life stuff all the time. You talk about, shipping and packing.
Shopping works.
Packing, whatever. Yeah, all the things. But it's so fascinating to watch people. So if you are an e-commerce seller, you're a solopreneur, you're at home, you're just doing your thing, just put on a day in the life and it'll probably get huge engagement because people like that. What's the sneak peek into their day in the life? What are they doing? And how do they do it? It also has this thing about TikTok. And I think this is where we all kind of felt or found comfort in it during the whole quarantine lockdown, that we're all kind of similar. It's kind of like, oh, you get my jokes. The struggles, the successes, the wins, the losses. Oh, you do the same thing in the morning. And I think that's really powerful. So you being an e-commerce business owner and showing people, letting them into your world about what you do could have tremendous effect on other people to gravitate towards your content.
We were just talking about that the other day, how people want to buy from people that remind them of themselves. And I would agree that with everybody being stuck at home, as I call the panorama, has really opened up this willingness or this ability to be more authentic and be more open and just more genuine with your content, because everybody's kind of like, this sucks. How y'all doing? And you can be really, really open and honest. But something you said that was interesting. So it sounds like you guys kind of just had like these brand ambassadors out in the world that were using your tool and loving it, and you sort of brought them into the fold as your influencers. What about an e-commerce business owner who's looking to find existing TikTok influencers that they want to bring on board to promote their brand? Where can they find them, and what's kind of the best way to work with them?
So I definitely think this is why I always am a big advocate of building up your brand as well, and how you're displaying yourself to the public, because there's a grassroots approach that you can take. This does not cost anything, to go out and search and find people, look for those niche hashtags, look for those niche topics that relate to your business, your brand, and what you're looking for. So if you sell something in a certain area, demographic, if you're looking for, cooking, people who want to demo your cooking tools, whatever it may be, you can search that on TikTok. You can also go over to Instagram and search that as well, because there's probably a lot of crossover there from the two platforms being very similar. And find those TikTok influencers that you want to work with. They don't have to be large scale. Of course, you're going to have the Kylie Jenners. You're going to have, the people that are huge on there, the influencers, but you don't have to go with those mega influencers. You can go with a micro influencer, and you're probably going to get a huge return because, as you were saying, Lisa, that people want to buy, they want to work with people that remind them of themselves. So they have this core audience of friends that are already trusting their friend on there making content, trusting that what they are promoting is a good quality product. So if you're searching for these people, look for those key demographics, key hashtags, keywords, if you will, and get that in there, and then start looking through all the people that you want to work with. You can just start scrolling through, seeing who you like, what their content is like, and how you can work with them to create TikTok content based around your product or your business. And from there, you would just DM them. They also usually have an Instagram. They usually have their contact info in their bio. And that's why I also say build up your personal brand, because they'll probably be more responsive if you display what you're all about. What is your business about? What are you all about? What are you trying to promote? And then they'll decide if they want to work with you. So they'll probably be more responsive if you have your brand together on social media, and then you can come together and collaborate.
So they're also looking to you to be sure that you're a reputable business with your shit together.
Yeah, I agree. Yes. It's in that very frank and blunt way. Yes. No, because have you ever seen anybody like on Instagram and you're like, oh, they just started, well, they don't have any posts. You probably are weird. Like, you gotta go.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It dilutes your credibility. So when you kind of say what you're all about, put it in your bio, have some photos, like kind of social proof, if you will, they're probably going to be more responsive to wanting to work with you. And then that's when you can negotiate prices. there's also a lot of people who are amateur, food bloggers, things like that. I'm using food because it's just like very relevant. Also, it's breakfast here. Fine, guys. But there's people who want those opportunities of like, yeah, I'll try out your blender and I'll make some cool stuff. And I get the blender, you get some TikToks, let's go for it. And this content, like I said, these business owners probably can't create on themselves or don't want to or don't have the time to do so. It is very time consuming. So if you have someone who enjoys this, that wants to do it, and you're just, doing a product exchange, hop on it.
Yeah.
That was going to be my question, actually, because I feel like there's a lot of planning and strategizing also that goes into the back end before even reaching out to them. Obviously, looking up, relevant hashtags, relevant products, make sure that they can hit the right audience is important. Right. But for example, reaching out to them, what do you say? What if they, for example, I reach out to them and I say, hey, I have this really cool ping pong Yeti mug. Shout out to Ryan Kramer at Ping Pong. And and I'm looking to sell this. And they go, well, what's your budget? I feel like there's still like a few smaller steps to think through. What can you help guide what those steps are?
I do usually use not a template, but I have like a foundation email there that's kind of like, hi, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I do. I usually throw in a few compliments. You got to say, hey, I saw your TikToks, you're doing some incredible work, I'd love to work with you. Happy to, you can put out a number there that you're
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, she's definitely losing signal. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Cassandra. I don't know if you could hear us, Cassandra, but this won't happen if you visit us in Miami in a week and a half.
You definitely lost Wi-Fi, dear. You are frozen. Oh, we got some movement there.
Coming back.
Yes? No?
Yes.
Yes.
I think so.
Okay. You guys were me. Nothing happened on my end.
That's so frustrating. I hate when that happens.
It's StreamYard. StreamYard's it's great, but it takes up a lot of Wi-Fi.
I was about to say, don't sass her because she'll go down the second you backtalk her. This has happened before.
What's so strange is I'm supposed to have the super strong. I'm in the office today, so I'm supposed to have the super strong Wi-Fi.
We are too. That's why I say it might be StreamYard that does it, because most of the other time I do have really good signal, but it breaks up. Sorry, we were saying talking a little bit about budget and everything. You
were crisp and clear, just so you know. You guys looked fabulous the whole time. If you can replace whatever thumbnail I had with some a headshot, I'd really appreciate that.
Perfect. That means we'll see you in Miami November 1st.
Okay, so we'll go back to budgeting here. First of all, usually have a standard email. Craft that standard email, but also it's almost like writing a cover letter for applying for a job. You want to also cater it to the person that you're reaching out to. Set a budget. What are you comfortable with? But I also always leave it up for negotiations. Are you open to product swaps? Are you open? Do you want some publicity? I know a lot of people are like, I want money. I don't really care if you promote me. But there is a good amount of people that want that, promotion. They're trying to build up their own repertoire, their own resume of being an influencer as well, and showing that they have worked with these different brands, these different products. So definitely leave it open. And I always say, let them make the first move after you've set your budget, the ramifications, and what you're looking for ideally. You can also just do a mini project brief if you have something of let them, they're the creators. They're the creative ones. They've got the ideas. They do this all the time. So really, I tend to say things like, for example, hi, we're looking for, a 30-second video using this product, would be possible to have a dance incorporated using a trending sound. Please use @tags, hashtags, and send me the raw footage. So, put it out there. Put it out there. And like I said, once you introduce yourself and you're a personable business owner that people want to communicate with, 9 out of 10 times I would say that's going to start to roll over and people will recommend you as well.
And that was going to be one of my questions is how much creative license are you kind of giving the influencer? Are you sending them a full script or just an outline of high points to hit in the video?
I'm not a script person, Lisa. As you know, I like to go off the cuff in general. I do.
As do we.
You got life's unpredictable. You got to roll with it. You never know when StreamYard might go down. So
it's true. The whole grid goes down sometimes.
Oh my goodness. Don't even get me started on that Facebook outage. That's a whole nother talk, Lisa.
We can talk about it after.
Yeah.
After the show.
But definitely, I don't send scripts because I also find that people just get too bogged down with the details of it. And they feel like it has to be this perfect, verbatim, every line has to hit. So I really just send talking points. I say, please make sure you say, especially if you're looking for a certain number that this has been sold to over 500,000 people or, 100% satisfaction or whatever it may be. And then I tell them however you're comfortable because you want them to sound very natural when they're speaking, to their audience, to you, so that when you cross promote it, you don't want someone who's like, I love this product. You know what I mean? It's just not. Then you're just wasting money because everyone knows it's fake. Everyone, or not fake, but it's an ad. It's sponsored. This isn't a genuine review. So that's why also it goes back to you want to reach out to the key hashtags. You want to start searching all those keywords, people within that demographic, because they're going to actually want to use your product for themselves. And then if they really like it, they'll probably keep using it, whether you're paying them or not. It's going to show up in all the videos, et cetera.
Well, I was going to say that's a question that somebody maybe new to TikTok may have is the content will then live on the influencer's page, right? Or on their profile. I'm not sure what they're called on TikTok. Feeds, profiles. If your business is tagged, is there a tagged, like on Instagram, if you're tagged on somebody's post, they have like you're tagged in section of your profile. Does TikTok have the same thing to show where you're tagged in other videos?
They don't have a tag, but you can. What I did a lot especially when we first started our TikTok account for Helium 10, I would search through and there's an ability to download it. And then it has the watermark of who created this video. And then you re-upload it and post it. So now you're getting the benefit of the content. That person's getting the credibility and the credit of creating the TikTok and going back to their account. So it's really a twofold. The only thing that I don't or dislike about that is sometimes the watermarks get cut off or they can be, it seems like during the download process, they're somewhat enlarged. So that's why I also encourage you, if you are asking them to do this, have them do like a screen record and send the raw video over to you first.
Got it.
This is also how we approve videos and things like that, because if you've ever tried editing a TikTok on the back end and then you mess up or it's gone or it's a nightmare. So I definitely recommend having them screen record the final version for approval first. And then once it's approved, you have that asset. It can live in your library and you can also cross promote it on other channels. I've also heard, and I hate to say like it's this social media rumor mill, but I know that with the Instagram, TikTok battle royale that goes on, if you do, it's crazy. If you do download the TikTok with the watermark, Instagram Reels suppresses it in the algorithm because they don't want to promote TikTok.
Yeah, Lisa, you said that the other day.
Yes, I'm glad you heard that too, because I heard that not even the other day, a couple of weeks ago, that they installed this little scanner to find the watermarks and then are suppressing that. I'm glad you also heard that. That means my information is correct.
What also got us a huge boost was, first of all, I think the first one is always going to be like out of the ballpark because
they give you
Lisa, okay, so you know what, she's talking my language here. Exactly. We're gonna promote you. We got recommended on Facebook. If that gets so many views, once you hit that algorithm stride, it goes and cross promotes over to Facebook. So really, once you keep doing it and working both algorithms for different purposes, I don't recommend putting everything from TikTok onto Instagram because I just think that's totally different audiences. You're on Instagram for a certain purpose versus TikTok. And I think TikTok can be a little more unpolished, a little more, this is a trending sound on TikTok. Don't always try and take that over to Reels because it doesn't always,
translate.
It doesn't always translate. Exactly. Especially because the audiences are so different. You know, there's a lot of crossover, but there's also people are looking for different things on different platforms. So there are opportunities to cross promote, but really take a look at what content is going specifically on TikTok and what you're putting on your Reels channel.
That's a really good point. I think a lot of people, because I was just on Reels for a long time, and my friends would like literally like copy and paste the link to a TikTok and like text it to me. I'm like, this is excessive. Like, I might as well just get the damn app. But a lot of the content I do see on Instagram Reels. There will be really, really popular videos that I've seen on Reels already. And
Not
now,
like a month later, though. It's always late to the game, I feel.
Necessarily. No.
That's my opinion. I don't know. I'm on a weird TikTok, so I don't know. I'm on Cat Dad TikTok.
Are you? That's adorable.
That is cute. I love it.
What TikTok are you on, Cassandra?
Oh, goodness. I feel like I get into these really weird niches every once in a while, or like I get into these different communities. So sometimes I'm in the small business owners, I'm in entrepreneur stuff, and you see all the people that are like, you know, throwing their money in Miami. That'll be you guys in a couple weeks. Just out there.
And you. We're going to get you the little money gun. Just spraying everyone with it.
Okay, that's on my Christmas list. I really want one of those. So I do think it's going to come in handy in 2022. Now that we're all back into live events, I just really feel that it's going to be a good thing. I've gotten into some weird niches though, by accident, and that's always a scary moment. You never know what you're getting into. I started going down some sort of rabbit hole when I was going to Las Vegas recently, and I was like, oh, I think I'm on some other things that, okay, this is not travel talk anymore.
It happens.
Yeah,
it throws off your algorithm.
Yeah. It's like you like your algorithm. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to ask, actually, you were talking and it sparked a thought in regards to, you know, you're using Instagram, let's say Instagram posts, Reels, highlights, whatever the case may be, versus TikToks, and you're using them for different purposes, right? Like, what is more of the standard funnel that you might see brands make through TikTok?
Meaning,
like a marketing funnel.
So when you want to have I really go with what's your campaign calendar? Really look at that. And what are you trying to promote and how are you trying to gain that awareness? So if you're coming up with content creation, concepts, things like that, you want them to generate awareness. And I definitely recommend putting either a link in bio or your website in your bio so people know exactly where to go to. And you want to have that call to action. Now, it's going to be different from an organic standpoint. And if you're using any sort of paid promotion to garner that awareness, garner that traction and engagement. So you want to make sure that what you're promoting gives you the top level information. If it's a 50% off sale, if it's a BOGO, buy one, get one, whatever it may be that you want them to go to your link in bio, go to the promotion, click through and become a member, get the deal, get the membership tier, whatever you're looking to achieve. So really, you want to make sure that you're following a marketing calendar, following your campaign calendar, and that you're adhering to that of where you want that traffic to go, and make sure there's a clear CTA at the end of your TikTok.
That was going to be my next question was should TikTok be used mainly for brand awareness or for conversions?
And I think it can be for both. I really do. I think that I've seen a lot of our brand ambassadors, if you will, they can be our affiliates. They have their affiliate links in their bios. And what they're doing is doing a small demo on a certain tool or what they learned from Helium 10, whatever it may be. And they're saying for more, go to my link in bio, use my affiliate link, click here, and people know exactly what they want to do with that information. Versus if you're just looking for more of an entertainment side, if you're just trying to build up that, follower growth, what you want, the engagement from it, you're going to have a different CTA, but that's where I think that content creation and information is really going to come in handy because that's what's going to grip people and they're going to follow and they're going to share and there's going to generate the awareness.
Sorry, Swa, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I'm just trying to think when it comes to, let's say you're reaching out to a nano influencer or a micro influencer, and they might not have, especially on the nano influencer side, maybe they don't have like the link tree or the link in bio sort of types of videos, but you really enjoy their content.
Right.
Is that just a conversation you have with them about where they can find the product? Or should they talk about it like in the video, for example?
Yeah, I would definitely. So similar to like Instagram, if you put like a link in the caption, it's not hyperlinked. It's not really that, valuable. And especially if it's anything like a bit.ly link or something, no one's copying that over. So let's just be real. So definitely I would recommend you have them put the brands and maybe your handle within the TikTok, because you're going to have the link tree. You're the business owner. You're the, the entrepreneur here. So if you say, hey, I'm making this, ping pong tumbler for somebody, go to ping pong, on Instagram, go to ping pong on TikTok, follow them for more information and how to get your order today, that sort of deal. So I think definitely putting in either their URL, their brand name, or a handle will come in handy versus having them go to a link in bio if that's not the situation that they're already set up with.
Gotcha.
Got it. And then if they, well, I guess it all goes back to milestones and goals. If, for example, you tell them to follow you on Instagram or to go to your website, how do you track traffic exactly? Is there a way that TikTok gives you, for example, if they did have I guess if they have a link tree, you could have a UTM parameter in that link. That would make sense. But if they talked about it, let's say in just their TikTok in general, and they said, hey, go to Noviland.com or go to helium10.com and check out, more information. How is that trackable?
So this is definitely when flight dates become super imperative as well. First of all, we've talked to a lot of people with different API and, connections, things like that on our back end of how we have our Instagrams connected for social monitoring, metrics, all that. And TikTok is not very open about all that. There's very minimal metrics. So you will have the stuff on the back end. So you're able to tell your influencer, hey, screenshot, give me a recap of how much traction you got from your For You page, how much of it came from your followers. So you will get those metrics from them, but that's also this is why I say flight dates are super imperative. Because if you know that this video went live between the 20th and the 23rd, and you look at your Instagram or wherever you drove them, you're going to see an increase. And while it can't 100% be attributed to that, if you see a spike and you know this is what's running between that time period, you can probably safely assume this was in relation to this new content going out by this influencer. And you will see that with larger influencers. I know you're saying like micro, more nano influencers, you may not, but that's where you have to kind of do your own little investigation of take a look at their metrics on the back end, take a look at yours, see what the key dates were and what you were trying to push and how much traffic you got during that time period. So it's a little bit of detective work just because TikTok doesn't have those same metrics available that a lot of other social media channels do. Because I do use, we have Isiah, which is an influencer software. So this is different from reaching out for, our community or people who we just naturally gravitate toward. These are people outside of the e-commerce space. These are people who do this for a living. They're unboxing videos for whether it's large brands or small businesses, things like that. Now, that's where the caveat is. You do get to see a lot of their back-end metrics through that platform, which is a paid platform, though, versus going the grassroots approach and, asking for screenshots and things like that. You get to see analytics that you wouldn't normally get to see just at face value or the vanity metrics from looking at someone's post. You get to see all those detailed backgrounds, and before you even work with these sort of influencers, what you see the benefits of. Okay, they have 90% real followers, actually engaged, 30% bots. They'll actually flag that if there's like fake or spam bots on there.
Wow.
You know who you're working with, because I'm sure you guys remember too, like, what was it, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, Instagram did that big like wipeout of all the people who had like followers.
Yeah.
And now we see it so much too with like meme accounts. Have you ever seen those switch over? They build up over time and all of a sudden they've like bait and switched you with something else.
Yeah. There's a lot of theories about those, but yeah.
Oh my God.
All of a sudden I'm like, why am I following this? And when did I follow
Yes.
Yeah. So definitely if you want to go, I know we talk a lot about organic and the grassroots, but if you're trying to look for that little boost and you have a larger budget to set aside, you can use something like Isiah. They have a small business tier that you can go for, as well as large businesses. I used it when I worked for IMAX as well. So that was another, like, you can go from small to large tiers depending on what your budget is. And then you also can work with influencers in the platform. I do generally set a budget, but when I go and connect with them, I can say, hey, well, also I'll send you this, you know, if you want some swag, we'll talk, we'll promote you. Like, what do you want to do? And again, 9 out of 10 times, it may just be my lovely personality though. I don't know, but people are willing to work with me. So
I think that has a big part of it. I mean,
of course it does.
Yeah. You literally spread joy. So, I mean, I think that's a big part of it. And I think, I mean, it's obviously with the name that you guys have built up, and the reputation also is a massive part of it. Let's say I was just rolling out again some of these. I think it would be a little bit harder to maybe say, hey, let me get you some swag for this mug that I'm coming out with.
So you have to say, I've got an exclusive ping pong tumbler that I want to gift to you because you make incredible TikTok content and I see you going places. And then suddenly they're making 100 videos for your day.
I love that.
I can't guarantee that.
You're giving away all your secrets now.
Yes.
It just got to be friendly, you know.
Oh yeah, complimentary, like you said.
Nice. It's nice. Just be a personable, you know, individual.
Yeah.
Before we get to your question, Francois, Cassandra, can you spell Isiah? I wanna link it.
It is IZEA.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. I'm gonna link that in the
other competitors out there too. So like if you're looking to like, you know, do some pricing and see what's out there. But they're definitely a great company to work with if you're looking for a little more you want a little more demographics, if you want a wider search, and they help you narrow that down for you. So you're not doing all the back end work from a grassroots approach.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll link that in the description of the video for anybody who's interested in maybe checking out that resource. Sorry, go ahead, Francois.
Yeah. No, I was just going to ask in regards to sponsored posts because we touched on that very slightly. But when it comes to influencers, is it something? Because I see sponsored posts all the time. There's some that I will immediately swipe up because I feel like you're selling me something. Yeah. Some that, you know, I get hooked on and my girlfriend would swipe up for me because she's like, that's an ad. I'm like, that doesn't seem like an ad. I will watch this through. But are sponsored posts something that you work out with an influencer to sponsor their post, or would you recommend getting the raw footage and sponsoring it on your own account? I guess their footage on your account.
Yeah, I think it depends on also what you're going for. So it's almost like, do you want to show that someone was talking about you, or do you want someone to discover someone else talking about you and your, you know, your brand, if you will? So there's kind of a different optics approach for it. There's something very different about you saying, hey, look, this person loves me and my brand, versus someone scrolling through and saying, oh, I didn't know they use that brand too. Let me go find out more. So I would say, I think it's more beneficial to have the influencer do a sponsored post on their platform with appropriate tags, hashtags, things like that. So you get that awareness as well. But you're going to tap into a whole new audience. It's more organic than even if you're doing a promoted post, because that's you feeding it to audiences that you already know will gravitate to your content or are likely to. This is a demographic of people that trust this source, trust what they're talking about, and they're open to learning more things about your brand through this influencer. So I would recommend you have them promote it versus you using the footage and promoting it within your own.
That's a great
And is that something that you would recommend for a video that's very product showcase heavy versus let's say a kitchen faucet?
Yeah.
Right. And let's say I'm working with contractors because I'm trying to get to homeowners that are interested in DIY projects.
Right.
And contractors could be just the hashtag renovation, TikTok, whatever it is.
How on the nose of an example, Francois?
I know.
Okay. Would you recommend that they showcase the product? Or I guess, what do you think would hit better? Would them showing the products, talking about some of the benefits of it, or them sponsoring a post that has them installing it into like a faucet?
I was leaning as you were saying it. I was like, oh no, I want to see the installation. Like, I think that's what people want to see, especially because that's not something they would do on their own. Again, kind of like the behind the scenes, peek behind the curtain. So I think that would give you more traction and engagement and awareness, seeing someone install it, see how it works, and someone's going to say, oh, that can work for mine too. Now I'm going to go inquire more. Versus when you were saying before, just talking about the product and kind of showcasing it. It's not that that wouldn't be effective. I think that that's just a different way of showcasing it from a less organic standpoint. That's
so lean more sense. This old house than QVC.
Yes. Yes. Great example. I love that. Yes.
There was a shower head, and the only reason that one's more on the nose for us, but maybe it's a shower head that you guys have seen too, but it's like a crazy shower head that like spins and has beads inside of it. And it was definitely a foreign company because some of it was wrong, even the letters in it, or maybe they just had a bad VA for it. But it was a great product. But then I saw it with an influencer using it, and I immediately was like, that's awesome. Instead of just like seeing all the water like shoot out of it for the product showcase. Just wanted to get your take on it.
No, I remember that TikTok, and it was 1 or 2 people I saw, and I was so gripped by it because I didn't know it was an ad at first. That's what made it so good. It looked so raw and real that someone was literally just like, "Hey, check this out! Look at my new shower head I got."
Yeah,
and then it was like one of those like plot twists at the end. You're like, "Oh my god, she's sponsoring this," which that doesn't like deter me though. If I'm already walking in and thinking that this was an organic, whatever it may be. And do you remember those like weighted hula hoops? Those are really popular.
Yes.
Style. I remember seeing people doing those. That looks super organic. I never would have thought half of those were ads. And then of course, then they, turn them that way. Before we go, I do want to say also going on like the flip side of it. I don't know if you guys have seen DoorDash, but I think their TikToks, it's like they're doing the reverse. It's basically a brand that looks highly, highly organic and then tapping into the mindset. So that's something I really would love to leave with you guys and your audience before we go is that, what are people thinking? And I think DoorDash has done a great job. The video content is not high quality. It looks like it's shot off an iPhone. No one is in, hair and makeup. They're not like, overly beautified or anything like that. And they're literally saying things that probably everyday people, well, I know I've thought them, think all the time, like, oh, I don't want to go to work. And how do I get a job? I also kind of like want to still have a job,
Yeah.
I'd like to still have money.
Yeah.
It's really tapping into how you feel certain days or what you want to do. And that's where I think is a super genius marketing approach as well. So it's more of a larger brand going an organic way versus a more lower solopreneur brand with limited resources trying to go high end. So it's like they did the reverse aspect. So, and that just kind of goes to show it's really about the content and the key messaging and the mindset, especially with TikTok. I think it's a huge mindset play. We talk about ASMR. We talk about key messages. Someone says one thing that's right on the nose. Like I said, I'm sharing it and I'm telling everybody about it. And if they don't have a TikTok, I'm sending them a link. So that's my thoughts.
Well, Cassandra, thank you so much for all of the incredible information you shared. If anybody has any questions about anything, where can they get a hold of you and where can they learn more about Helium 10?
Oh my goodness. Okay. So as much as we talked about TikTok, which you can find me, Cassandra_Craven, Cassandra_Craven on Instagram as well. I'm always there. Slide in the DMs. I love it. Let's hear from people. But Helium 10 software on Instagram. We're also Helium 10 software on TikTok. We're on Facebook. We're everywhere. Helium10.com, Helium 10. Did I mention I work for Helium 10?
Wait, what was the company again?
Oh, Helium 10. Yeah.
Helium 10. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll remember that. H10.
You guys are so great. Seriously. And please work on getting a morning news show because I want to wake up with you guys. I love that you have the Halloween decor. This is just, you guys are so cool. And this just kicked off my day. I love it.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully we'll see you in Miami.
Oh my gosh, Francois.
The public peer pressure. I love it.
I am more excited to have you in Miami so Lisa can finally meet you in person.
I will.
If I can make Lisa happy, then I'm a good co-host. So
you literally said this morning your job is to make my job harder. Did you not?
You know what's going to happen, by the way? So we're filming with Tim Jordan. He's in our office today. That's why I'm in the office.
I saw that.
Yes, saw the
And I've told you this before, and I've told Francois this too, and we are so running out of time, but I don't care. The production value of the H10 videos that you guys have been doing has been
so good.
Fantastic. So good. And I'm really excited to see what comes from whatever you're filming with Tim.
We're so excited, and I will relay that to the team. But I will tell you, about the Miami thing really quick. So Destiny, Better AMS, she also asked me, Emma, marketing by Emma, and I was
we
like,
saw that they were speakers.
Yeah, I'm like, no, guys, I'm not gonna make it. And then now I'm like, Lisa asked and Francois booking flights, and so yeah. You're getting me in a little trouble, but I might have to change my thoughts.
Just tell them you wanted it to be a surprise.
Okay, that's
and good. That's all. That's it. That's it. Then you're good. It's just
there we go.
Delightful. Under promise, over deliver. No, I'm not coming. Here I am.
You're so good. You guys are awesome. You're a dream team. I love this. Please, I hope I provided some value, and you'll invite me back.
100%.
Right?
100%. You're welcome back anytime.
Anytime, every day. And for everybody who I know loved the content today, please be sure to give us a like, comment, share, subscribe to the show. Follow Cassandra on all the things. Follow Link Up Leaders on all of the things. And be sure to ring the bell to turn on notifications so that you never miss a conversation with leaders in supply chain and e-commerce, like the queen of social media herself, Cassandra Craven. We'll see everybody soon.